What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of Boondockbuilds. My name's Jamie, and love is in the air. Now today, we're going to be making 3 easy projects that you can give to a loved one or sell for a very nice profit. And I know Valentine's Day is coming up, so you're going to want to get on these. Let's go ahead and dive on into it. Alright guys, so we're going to start this first project off pretty easy. We're going to do everything with just a couple 2x4s. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is take these 2x4s and cut them down to 6 feet. So I get a lot of compliments when I admit that I make a mistake. And I just made a big one. I only have 2 2x4s that aren't weathered, and I just cut one to 5 foot instead of 6. So it's going to be okay because we're going to trim all these down on the table saw on all 4 sides. So let's get on with the build. So now we're also going to need 4 more 2x4s cut down to 18 inches long. So let's go ahead and get those cut. So now we're going to bring everything over to our table saw, starting with the 6 foot pieces, and take just a little piece off of each side.
Hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
That's right, tripping breakers is not a fun thing to do. Hopefully soon I'll be able to get decent wiring in my shop instead of running a drop cord from my house. But I can't do that unless you guys hit that subscribe button and help me beat this algorithm by leaving a comment.
So next we're going to be taking our 4 18-inch pieces and cutting off about 3/4 of an inch off of each side. And then we're going to trim off a little bit on the flat sides here. So next what we want to do is go over to our miter station and take one end of each 2x4, start at nothing, and cut it down 10 degrees. Then we're going to do a quick run through the planer just to make sure everything is smooth. Okay, now that we have everything planed, we're going to take our tape measure here, hook it on the long end of the bottom, and we're going to make a mark at 16, 32, 48, and 64. Take our speed square and line all those up. So next, we're going to take a drill and pre-drill a hole under each line for our screws. So now that we have those drilled out, we're going to want to flip these over and drill into the same holes we've already got. And I took my drill and put some blue tape on it to know where to stop with the depth. So this next part here might be a little tricky, but I've got a little bit of a plan here. So what I've got is 2 pieces of 1x that I've cut down. Make sure I know the top's there. And then I'm going to put a rung on top of those and clamp this down to this table while I drill it in, make sure everything's straight.
So now that we got our dowel rods in, I'm going to throw some stain on this to match the furniture in my house because this is a present for my wife. She's been asking for one of these for a while. So let's throw some stain on it. So I use cherry to stain, and then I'm going to do a whitewash to match the furniture in my house. But feel free to use whatever color stain you'd like. After that, we're going to set it off to the side to dry and do a big reveal at the end of the video. So about a week ago, our cutting board got trashed. So I'm going to build my wife a new one. So here I've got a piece of walnut, a piece of marred maple, and a piece of purple heart that I've cut down to 20 inches long. And I'm ripping these down to 1 5/8 on the table saw. Then you want to get these in order and make sure there's no big gaps in any areas that'll be tough for the clamps to pull in. And make sure you are using Tight Bind 3 because it is waterproof and food safe. And then you're going to want to clamp this together. Give it at least 3 to 4 hours to dry. I let mine dry overnight. And then you're going to want to do a couple passes through the planer. Next, we're going to take our cutting board over to our miter station and cut 1 inch off of each end. Get it back down to 18 inches. Next, I gave this a good sanding up to 120 grit. So here at the router table, I have 2 blocks set up in an equal distance apart to make us a handle. Next, we're going to be raising the grain with just a little bit of water. You don't want to submerge it, and I quickly dried it off by using a blowtorch. Then you're going to give it just an easy sanding with 220 grit and then take it over to get some food grade finish on it. And again, stick around to the end of the video for the big reveal. So for our last project, all you're going to need is a little piece of wood, and this one here is only 11 inches long. I started out by using my ruler to line up both corners and mark a line. Once I had that hole punched, I used an 1 3/8 Forstner bit to make a hole. Next, I made a mark 2 inches over from the edge, and then I came in from the side and went up 2.5 inches because the total width of this was 5 inches. Then we're going to make another hole with our 3/4 inch Forstner bit. Next, we're going to line that up with our ruler and take it over to the bandsaw. So now we're going to take this over to our router and use a round over bit to go around all the edges. Then we're going to give this one final sanding and get some finish on it. And there we have it, guys. 3 easy projects that you can build for your loved one this Valentine's Day or sell for a very nice profit. If you want to check out our last video, click right here. We'll see you guys next time on Boondock Builds.